Hi, and welcome to It Figures. Tonight, I will be reviewing Jim Henson's Muppets. Uncle Deadly. And actually, Uncle Deadly was one of my favorite Muppets, even though he's not as well known as some of the others. So let's take a look at the packaging here. It's your standard blister pack with an open front that shows the figure and all the accessories really nice. Not a whole lot of artwork on it except for the picture of Uncle Deadly and the Muppet Show logo. The back of the packaging is actually kind of cool. They have a tombstone on the back of there talking a little bit about who Uncle Deadly is. On the bottom of the package they show all the figures in the line, and actually I have most of these. So let's cut into the figure and see what we have. Uncle Deadly is being secured into place with quite a few twisty ties, but the ghost itself is just kind of molded into the plastic. Alright, so anyone who's watched the Muppet Show will know that the Muppets are made out of a felt-like material. So it's cool to see that they captured that detail on all of his skin, so it kind of looks like the felt material. Detail-wise, Uncle Deadly is just incredible looking. One thing I really love is the fact that you do see him on the show and do see him in the movies, but you can't really appreciate the detail until you see it in a figure. Speaking of the detail, one of his sleeves has been torn off, and you can see how skinny his arms are, and it's just great. Even there's a hole there at the bottom of his sleeve, and you can see his skin through it. On the bottom of his vest, they actually do have a real metal chain. One thing about the Muppet Show is you never hardly ever get to see the lower half of the Muppets. So when these figures come out, and they actually do have legs, and as you can see, like the rest of the figure, the legs have fantastic detail. Even the hole in the pants there. Just great. I really like how they did his eyes with the yellow and the black, and there's a lot of depth to it. So his jacket is basically made out of soft rubber. One of the strange things about Uncle Deadly here is his tail, because it's not really attached to the figure, which I think is kind of odd. Actually, it's like attached to the inside of his coat. It's not even part of his body. The paint is spot on here, from his eyes to his teeth to his tie to his shirt. It's just a great paint job all over. And just like the Muppets' feet, you don't ever really get to see the back of them too much either. And to tell you the truth, I didn't even know Uncle Deadly had a hump. As for articulation, Uncle Deadly's head turns, and his mouth looked like it might open and close in a package, but actually it's solid, it don't move. His shoulders are on a ball joint, elbows bend, wrists turn, waist bends. The legs actually have 2 points of articulation. They bend up and down and sideways. And his feet turn. Unlike some of the figures I've been getting lately that has no accessories, Uncle Deadly does come with a few, and they're highly impressive. First, let's take a look at the ghost. It comes with its own stand, which is very simple to put together. And there's a hole at the bottom of the ghost here. It fits in with no problems whatsoever. So the ghost itself is awesome. Just absolutely cool. It could actually be a figure by itself. For those who've watched the Muppet Show, they would know that these ghosts have actually appeared in the show. So it's cool not just to have one figure, but 2 figures from the show. And a skull was also included. The paint job on the skull is actually pretty decent. And even though Uncle Deadly can stand on his own, he comes with a stand, which is another great feature. So let's bring up the old Figometer and see how Uncle Deadly stacks up. For articulation, he's actually really well articulated. With his head and his elbows and 2 articulations in the legs, it's great. It's fantastic articulation. The sculpting is also superb. It looks like Uncle Deadly had just stepped right out of your TV screen and into your living room. All the accessories that he came with are also absolutely fantastic. I could not have been happier that they included a ghost and a skull, not to mention a stand as well. As a longtime fan of the Muppet Show, I am so glad to finally be able to own an Uncle Deadly figure. Uncle Deadly gets a 5 out of 5. Now this figure has been out for quite a while, so you might have a problem looking for it. It's not a newer figure, but I actually had seen this at one of my local stores and couldn't help but pick him up. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's It Figures, and as always, hit the subscribe button, and I shall see you next time.